April 22, 2025. A silence echoes through Vatican City. Pope Francesco is gone. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, born December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The first Jesuit pope. The first from the Americas. And the first to choose the name Francesco, after Saint Francis of Assisi, symbol of poverty, peace, and care for the marginalized. His election on March 13, 2013, was not just historic. It marked the beginning of a transformation that would shake the 1,000-year-old foundations of the Vatican. But like every revolution, Francesco's papacy was surrounded by shadows, mysteries, and long-standing silence. Immediately after his election, Francesco faced a church plagued by scandal, most notably, the devastating sexual abuse crisis. He tackled it head-on by establishing the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors. It was a clear signal of change. But resistance came swiftly. Some cardinals openly opposed him. Others did so silently. Not everyone was ready to see transparency flood the ancient corridors of ecclesiastical power. Then came his battle over Vatican finances. The Vatican Bank, formerly the Institute for the Works of Religion, had long faced accusations of secrecy and potential money laundering. Francesco appointed external experts to reform it, including Swiss economist René Brühlhardt. He created the Secretariat for the Economy, initially led by Cardinal George Pell. But the reforms were met with pushback, disappearing documents, leaked dossiers, and the arrest of Monsignor Nunzio Scarano on corruption and money laundering charges. Transparency was the promise, but realizing it meant confronting deeply rooted power. Francesco's reforms weren't just institutional, they were symbolic. He refused the lavish papal apartment. He wore simple shoes. He drove a Ford Focus. His message, humility and proximity to the people. But his private meetings told a more complex story. In November 2019, the Vatican hosted a summit on ethical finance and climate change. Attendees included Rajiv Shah, president of the Rockefeller Foundation, representatives of the World Economic Forum, and major global banks. The official topic, sustainability. But reports from Vatican News and the Financial Times note this also signaled a strategic alignment between the Vatican and global economic elites. Francesco never hid his views. In Evangelii Gaudium, he openly criticized unrestrained capitalism. In Laudato Si, his environmental encyclical, he introduced integral ecology, a fusion of ethics, economy, and the environment. He even suggested the need for a universal basic income, challenging modern economic models. Progressive thinkers applauded, conservative critics accused him of politicizing the papacy and leaning too far into globalist ideology. Under Francesco, the Vatican deepened ties with the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and the G20. He took part in summits on the economy, climate, and migration. In February 2019, he co-signed the document on human fraternity with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, a groundbreaking interfaith gesture. But not without controversy. Some within the church feared it blurred theological boundaries and weakened Catholic identity, while Francesco saw it as essential for peace. For the first time in modern history, Francesco opened parts of the Vatican archives concerning Pope Pius XII and World War II. Historians from around the globe accessed previously restricted documents, shedding new light on one of the Church's most debated legacies. Yet, despite renaming them the Vatican Apostolic Archives, millions of documents remain sealed, undigitized, and locked behind centuries of protocol. Francesco's identity as a Jesuit shaped his entire papacy. The Jesuits have long been missionaries, scientists, diplomats, and, according to some historians, silent agents in Europe's power games. Francesco governed in that same manner, not with orders, but with orientation, not with force, but with persuasion. Still, he was not untouched by scandal. In August 2018, Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano accused him of ignoring prior allegations against Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, later defrocked for sexual abuse. Francesco refused to respond publicly. Instead, he launched an internal Vatican investigation, which confirmed Vigano's claims and led to McCarrick's laicization. An unprecedented decision, but one that raised questions. Why did it take so long? And now, with the recent passing of Pope Francesco on April 21, 2025, a chapter closes. He brought the Church closer to the people, yet engaged with the highest circles of global power. He revealed secrets, and chose to keep others buried. He challenged ancient authorities, and forged new alliances. He spoke to the world, but often remained silent when his voice was most demanded. The true mystery is not in what he said, but in what he chose not to say. Who really influenced his decisions? Which battles did he lose, and which did he only begin? Can one man, even with the weight of the papacy, truly change the core of one of the most ancient, secretive, and powerful institutions in the world? The Vatican remains, as always, the most silent of powers. And Pope Francesco, its most enigmatic pontiff.